Hey friends, it's Missy again. Thanks for joining me today. I'm back with a new layout for the Paige Evans design team. And for this layout, I'm going to use mostly the Pick Me Up collection. And I've had my eye on this t-shirt paper for quite a while, and I finally got an idea. It's number 24, and I knew exactly what pictures I wanted to scrap. These are of my daughter Paige from a few years ago. I caught her standing in the front window, and she had taken her arm out of one of the sleeves of her shirt, and so it was tucked under her armpit, so it looked like she had a fancy little one sleeve off the shoulder type of shirt, and she was just standing there so proud, like she looked so cute and so fashionable. And so when I saw these shirts, I thought I'm going to use these to make a layout talking about how cute she looked in her little one-arm shirt. So I wanted to maybe create several shirts kind of hanging on a clothesline. That was the first idea that popped into my head. So I got to fussy cutting out several of the shirts. And I didn't cut out all of them, but I did cut out several of them. And these are pretty easy to cut out because the shapes aren't too intricate. So this is kind of, I think, the idea that I'm going to go for. I'm going to create two clotheslines and include the photos on the clotheslines. And before I take all this off the page, I'm going to kind of glue it together. So I have two big pieces that are going to stay together so I can move them kind of as one big unit, because I don't want to have to deal with all these little shirts flying around my desk, because I know I would lose one and then I would never get them back in the order that I wanted. So I'm just adding a little bit of glue to each sleeve and kind of making one big banner, or two big banners here. And I'm going to use another dark background. This is dark blue cardstock, and I've been getting lots of feedback on my last several layouts where I've used dark colored cardstock, and so I don't know, I'm kind of feeling it lately, so I'm going to do it again today. And you know me, I'm going to jazz up the background. I can't leave it as is. This is some Martha Stewart gold metallic paint. I thought I would just sort of dive right in and try some different things for this. You can see the color scheme that I've got going on in the shirts, and so I'm trying to pull some colors from that and also adding in some gold. So I just smudged down the gold paint with a palette knife, and then I'm going over that with some light pink paint from Vicki Boutin, and this is just sort of the beginning. I spent quite a bit of time working on this background. I'm going to cover it with white gesso. I like to create layers. I'm going to use the knife. I'm going to use my fingers to smudge, and I know it looks like a big mess, and you're probably thinking, she just totally ruined that piece of cardstock. But I know I've been saying this lately, it has to get uglier or worse before it gets better. And so I just keep working at it, and I want this to kind of show in between the two clotheslines and then a little bit above and below. And yeah, I like the different layering here. I don't want it to be super bright, but I want it to kind of pick up hints of the colors of the shirts. Now here's another option for using acrylic paint. You can add some water to it and mix it up with a brush and then use it for splattering. And if you're using a dark background like this, metallic gold is gorgeous on it. It just pops right off that dark color and sparkles and shines, and it's so pretty. And this is an option if you don't have Heidi Swapp Gold Color Shine or any of the gold shimmers or any type of gold spray. Just get yourself some metallic gold acrylic paint and water it down, and voila. This is some of the blue Vicki Boutin acrylic paint, and I'm trying to pull some of that light aqua color from the t-shirts. And then I'm going to smudge a little bit with the knife. This is just kind of a messy, abstract, artsy background here. I'm not using any stencils or anything fancy. I'm just splattering, scraping, smudging. This is a shimmer spray right here. I believe it's Pretty in Pink. It's a colorings, and I just want some hints of pink, and I like how that's looking. See, now that I glued all of the shirts together, I can just pick the whole thing up and stick it back on top of the background and kind of see how it looks. I do that frequently just to see how everything is going to look at this point, and I usually have to go back and add more to the background because, you know, a lot of it does get covered up. But I like how that's looking. I love the colors. I think this background is really pretty once it's all done and dry. I don't even remember. I haven't used the packaging technique in several weeks. I think it's because I've been using the acrylic paints lately. And the palette knife just gives you a different look. And when you use dark backgrounds like this, you want to use thicker things. Like if you just use your average spray ink, you're not going to be able to see it because it's going to soak right through the dark paper. But if you use acrylic paints, they're a lot thicker and they're going to dry sort of on top of the cardstock and not soak right through. So I just added some light pink. I know it takes me forever to get my backgrounds done. I love making them. It's one of my favorite parts of the scrapbooking process. And then of course, Heidi Swapp Gold Color Shine. And to me, I think it looks equally as pretty as the paint that I added in the beginning. And when it's all dry, I'm going to hold it up to the camera and you'll be able to see how it looks all shimmery and dry. And here it is. You can definitely see the gold color shine, but you can also see the paint. I just think that looks so pretty and it's so cool, and I love how it looks popping off that dark background. Okay, so I stitched through the top parts of the shirts on both sections to kind of create the clothesline idea, and I left the strings hanging off the edges, so it's going to look kind of messy and kind of like a clothesline. Now, I knew what I wanted to title this layout. I'm going to title it Fashionista. And my first thought was to use the thickers from the Oh My Heart collection, but I changed my mind because they just wind up being too big because the word fashionista is a long word, and I just felt like it sort of took over the middle of the layout. The colors matched great, and I like how they looked, but I think the letters themselves were just too big for this particular design. So I kind of put them aside for now and go about embellishing. I use a lot more of the Pick Me Up collection here. I'm going to use some of the chipboard pieces, some of the rub-ons. I really liked the look of the little banner pieces, so I'm going to tuck that pink banner over on the right of the top photo, and I think it says "You Do You." And then this banner piece is a rub-on, and it's going to say "Let the Good Times Roll." And I'm just going to attach it to some white paper first, and then cut that out, and that way I can move it around and use it as a die cut. And I'm going to use it somewhere because I kind of like the idea of the banners, or the clotheslines kind of reminds me of a banner, and so I thought these banner pieces would look cute, kind of tucked in here and there. I did add some adhesive foam behind both clotheslines so they kind of pop off the page and create some dimension. So I'm going to get those glued down, and that is the Scotch Tacky Glue from Michaels in my fine liner bottle. And I decided to kind of continue on with the gold pops, and so I'm just going to use some gold metallic thread here and tuck a little bit under the top section for now. And I changed my mind about the title thickers. Here's where I put away the Oh My Heart ones, and I decided to go with the mini thickers, the navy blue ones. And I'm going to pair it with this little banner from one of the cut apart sheets from Pick Me Up. That's from paper number 13. And I'm going to tuck it right there. It says, oh, what does it say? "You got this, girl?" I think that's what it says. And so these letters are a lot smaller, and I love the dark blue color. I think it picks up the dark blue background, and it fits a lot nicer because they're so much smaller. And so I'm just going to create the word Fashionista and then add a little bit more of the gold thread on the bottom layer, or the bottom section right there. And then I wanted to kind of ruffle up the edges of this little banner, and so I use my edge distresser there to tuck that there. And I like how this is looking. This was fun to do. I liked going through all the little bits and pieces here. These are the Oh My, no they're not, that's Pick Me Up. Pick Me Up puffy stickers. I'm going to use the little camera, the little piece that says Pick Me Up, or not Pick Me Up. I almost used the piece that said Pick Me Up. I think that one says Hello. I am going to use all the buttons that are on the rub-on sheet from Pick Me Up because I felt like we were dealing with shirts and fabric, and the buttons reminded me of the shirts. And so they also give little pops of color. And I'm going to kind of rub those on top of the shirt and on top of the photo just to create another little cluster and a little layer. And those are all from the rub-ons. And then I'm going to go for the Pick Me Up sticker sheet. Change my mind about a couple things. And here's another little banner piece. It's blue with a gold heart. And I think I'm going to stick it right there for now. We'll see if that changes. And here's another piece that I made into a banner because I felt like I needed another little banner up at the top. I love the fact that there's so many little teeny tiny hearts and stars and things on the puffy stickers. These are the puffy stickers from Oh My Heart. I use a couple of hearts from there, and then I'm going to go back to the Pick Me Up chipboard where there are also a ton of cute hearts, and just all the colors matched what I was doing. So I tried to add a heart to almost every shirt. And then I decide to dig into the washi tape book, and this is from Pick Me Up. This was a perfect piece to add. It says beautiful in metallic gold, and it's kind of that purplish dark pink color that matches. Added a chipboard piece above the top photo, and then I'm going to add another little sticker underneath the bottom photo. And I think that one says never a dull moment because that is 100% accurate with this child. Never, ever a dull moment with her. When I can't find her, she's usually stripped off all of her clothes and she's usually standing in the front window. That's her spot to go when she wants to get naked and get out of the window. People can see you. And she doesn't care. She's so funny. That's a chipboard piece. I like the way it kind of curved on the bottom row of shirts. And then I'm going to add in some lines for journaling. And to make the journaling pop off the page, I'm going to use a white jelly roll pen. And I think that's going to be it. I do add the date and a couple more blue paint splatters, I think. But that's the final layout. And this was so much fun to make. I was totally inspired by that shirt paper. And so always go through all of your papers and, think about photos that you have that you could showcase by fussy cutting or by using a specific paper with a specific design on it. This was a lot of fun to make. I love how it turned out. I love the color scheme and I love all the little embellishments, and it was fun to make. So let me know if you have any questions about anything that I did or the products. I want to thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I hope you have a great day.